his parents, the teacher, the principal, this child was misdiagnosed as mentally retarded. And by the way, in America, a black boy is 4 times as likely as a white boy to be diagnosed as retarded. Let's take learning disabled. You got a kid who was diagnosed as with a reading disability in the 3rd grade. You're doing a reevaluation in the 6th grade. You give him the reading assessment, boom. You got a 110 standard score. You give him another, he got a 90 standard score. Wow, can he do better? Of course, but guess what? He no longer falls within a deficient range. So then the question becomes, if you're saying he's not reading disabled in the 6th grade, how did they say he was reading disabled in the 3rd grade? You know why? Because they rush to judgment. Whenever you evaluate a child below 4th grade, you have to be careful. There's a lot of factors involved in why they might be low. Primary what? Poor instruction. A lot of kids haven't been taught. What about the kids who've been transferred to 3 or 4 different schools? Parents, under no fault of their own, because of living circumstances, children regularly go to 4 or 5 different schools. Well, if he's been in 5 different schools, 5 different teachers, 5 different curriculums, of course he's going to be behind.
What? Nutrition.
Nutrition is critical because, number one, a lot of our children eat too much sugar, too much caffeine, too much high fructose corn syrup, and when you're under the influence of sugar, as you know, you will look very much like ADHD. So before we even look for ADHD, there should be a sugar detox. Sugar detox. I recommend it to parents. Before you go running off looking for some Ritalin, which is going to cause nothing but more problems, detox your child off of sugar, caffeine, and high fructose corn syrup. Go home, throw everything in the trash that has sucrose, lucrose, any type of crose on it. Throw it out. Give them 6 weeks. Let's see what the behavior.
I hear you have a sense of being critical of Ritalin.
Well, Ritalin is, well, why?
Ritalin ain't good for you.
To the Drug Enforcement Agency is nothing more than a variation of the street drug speed. It is one molecule away from crack cocaine.
Oh,
I'm
facts.
very critical of Ritalin because that same Ritalin on the street corner is called crack and sends black men to jail with mandatory 5, 10, 15, 20-year minimums for selling it, but you'll take the same crack off the corner that sent his father to jail, call it Ritalin, Concerta, Metadate, and give it to his son so he can sit still long enough to be miseducated. To me, that is hypocrisy. How can
Facts,
America
come on,
claim
man.
to have a war?
Come on, how come the government always get to do that to us, man? The government sell more drugs and do more crime to us than they trying to charge us for. Come on, man. Oh, man, check that out, man.
Putting millions of black men in jail while you addict millions of black boys on the same drug that you're locking up black men for selling. That is an unacceptable hypocrisy.
What is the reaction
Facts.
of the school districts in which you serve?
It depends on their agenda. If they are an advocate of black boys, they love me. There's certain school districts around this country, they bring me in every year to train their teachers, train their principals, train their psychologists. Like clockwork, it's just on the calendar. Every year you're coming. I was just at a school up in New York not too long ago. I do work for schools all around the country. You know, so if you are an advocate of
You want to check out this video, man. Check out this video, man.
I'm going to show you how you don't need special ed.
It's on Rock Newman Show, man. Check out this video, bro.
And then I sit down with the white teachers and answer.
This man doing real big moves.
Because they got to trust me before they work with me. So I'll sit down with them. Okay, what have you heard? What do you need to know? So we can get through that and let's focus on what we heard. And then we get with that, get through that, then we can move forward. Now, if your agenda is to get paid off misdiagnosing kids, if you are a special education hustler, if you are a Ritalin advocate, I am your worst nightmare. You do not want to see me. I got school districts who don't want me nowhere in the city because if I set foot in that school, I'm going to find about 50 cases of kids on drugs and in special ed who do not belong there. See, the biggest advantage black parents have in working with me is I know educational law very well. School psychology is based on the law. You have to know it. Schools don't like that. They rely on black and Latino parents not to know their rights. They don't want you to know that because your son is in special education, he can't be suspended more than 10 total days the entire school year. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that if you don't want your child in special ed, you can call an IEP meeting and take him out. They don't want you to know that the principal can expel your child. He has no power to do that. He can only refer downtown to the local school board. They don't want black and Latino parents to know their rights. I teach them their rights. I empower them so they can fight for their children without me being next to them.
Facts, man. Check this guy out, man.
You took an effort.
All
to
facts, man.
Attempt to purchase in Virginia, St. Paul College, that went under.
Yes.
Is that still ongoing?
Let me tell you what happened with that. It's still a possibility, but it's no longer the priority. Why? Because as of about a week or two ago, St. Paul's is now, or should I say Motley's, the real estate company that's representing the sale,